Hey, what's up, everybody? Wade Watches here, coming at you with yet another out of theater review, this time for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And inevitably, this is going to get comparisons to Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. And let me just get this out of the way, and it breaks my heart to say this. I'm really, really hurt to say this, but this is the inferior version of Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. And I'm really hurt by that. I really am. I went into this wanting to love it, wanting to see crazy-looking Henry Cavill slaughter the shit out of some Nazis, but no. What we have here instead is pretty much, I don't even know what they were going for here. It almost feels like something I'd see on like Masterpiece on PBS. And don't get me wrong, I love PBS documentaries and like, you know, the Masterpiece dramas, which are themselves sometimes based on true stories. But once again, and movie trailers are no strangers to this. This is a classic case of just straight up false advertising for movie trailers, where we were very much sold on what I just said: crazy Henry Cavill and crew slaughtering Nazis in a crazy, over-the-top R-rated Guy Ritchie film. And what we have here instead is predominantly like just a straight up espionage mission with people plotting and planning, including Winston Churchill himself, planning to pretty much do something with, I don't want to give away the whole plot, but pretty much to do something with the Nazi boats. This isn't, you know, Brad Pitt just saying like, we're just gonna straight up just kill Nazis. You know, this is a specific plan. And again, if you had just been more honest about that in the trailers, then I would have been all for it. Like, if this was advertised as just like a straight up espionage movie, like we gotta get this done, then I would have been like, hey, but it really is being advertised as the movie where crazy Henry Cavill kills a bunch of Nazis, and we don't really get much of that. And yeah, it just really feels like this would have been better if it was like a Netflix miniseries or something that aired on PBS if they wanted to be reverent and pay their respects. Because before the end credits start coming on, we get like the real life figures who were a part of this mission, and we get the epilogue to what, you know, to everything they did after this mission. And this just feels like kind of like a miscalculated attempt at, like, you know, paying respect to a very obscure British, you know, mission executed by the British during World War II, instead of like a crazy over-the-top action movie. And I wanted the crazy over-the-top action movie because that's what the trailers gave me and sold me on. So yeah, I was really let down by this. I feel like if Guy Ritchie had chosen to do what Tarantino did and just completely make up a story about some soldiers or agents in World War II who just, you know, said like, hey, we hate the Nazi party, we're gonna kill as many of them as possible, then that would have been better. But to choose to take a true story and like appear to like put a twist on it and make it seem like it's going to be this violent, over-the-top action movie that just so happens to be based on a true story, but pretty much like have it play out like kind of like a, you know, like a biopic instead, because it's not very action heavy and it's not over the top for R-rated Guy Ritchie action film. It just feels like straight up bait and switch. So yeah, I was really let down by this. I really went into this wanting to love it as much as I enjoyed Monkey Man, but as is, I'm going to give the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare a 5.5 out of 10. Classic case of just like a very missed opportunity. You have a talented cast here, barely get to know any of them, honestly. The supporting cast here pretty much has one function: to just stand around and plot things with Henry Cavill. There are two other characters who do kind of have their own like side quest that ties into the main quest with Henry Cavill and crew. They were interesting enough, I guess, but even they felt kind of like these dry one-note cliches. So yeah, I was very let down by this. I usually expect more from Guy Ritchie. I love the Sherlock Holmes movies that he did. I love Snatch. I love The Gentleman. And I was hoping for just more of that crazy, manic, violent Guy Ritchie-ness, but that's not what I got here. Maybe another director could have handled this, or maybe it could have just been a fictionalized just like a completely fictionalized retelling where you use real people, but it's a totally fictional story, like The Harder They Fall. So that way, maybe Guy Ritchie would have been more motivated to do whatever the hell he felt like doing, or maybe he did really feel like doing this and making The Inferior and Glorious Bastards. I don't know, but all I do know is that this was a letdown. This was a disappointment. Not at all what I was expecting. I was hoping Henry Cavill would get redemption for Argyle, but alas, this is actually, and I know, but this is actually a little bit worse than Argyle, hence the lower rating. 5.5 out of 10 for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and I gave Argyle a 6 out of 10, so that should tell you right there how I feel about this, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. But oh well, it is what it is, and I guess I'll always have Glorious Bastards. This has been a very disappointing edition of Weight Watchers. I really wanted to love the hell out of this movie, but you know, maybe Guy Ritchie will get it next time. You know, he has more good ones than bad ones. It happens. So this has been another edition of Weight Watches, and I'll see you all with more next time. Peace.